Hello, my name is Christine Xiao. I'm here to talk about interracial racism. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because it's something that's been on my mind recently because in light of the new presidency as well as through conversations with my other peers, I was able to identify that, at least on the U of I campus, we're really segregated based on your heritage and ethnicity, which is a weird thing for like a really diverse state school. But I think it's a result of multiple RSOs being separated by culture, as well as because there's so many people, you have the option to hang out with people of the same minority. And for a lot of us, that wasn't really an option back then. So given this new opportunity, you choose to hang out with people with the same background as you do, and then what happens is that there kind of becomes like a homogeneous like mindset where it's like you try to keep looking for the same people to hang out with, and then you don't really like branch out and hang out with other people. And it's weird because I grew up in a really white high school. What I mean by that is that 80% of my high school was white, 10% was Latina, and the rest were other minorities. And as a result of that, although my core friend group was also completely ABC and of the same background as I was, I still had a lot of white and other ethnicity friends. So it's weird to me once I joined college that theoretically I should be in a more diverse place. So I should be making more friends in terms of that sense. But instead, I actually hang out with more of the people of the same ethnicity as I do. So that's weird to me because I just personally haven't ever been in this situation. And although I don't think it's necessarily wrong, but it does bring up the question of if I'm really choosing to hang out with people of the, and if that's an act of racism in itself, as in like choosing to hang out with people. And I think it varies a lot, but it's hard to like ask people to hang out with you when you're not of the same ethnicity, or if they're not looking out for those kind of relationships. I think I like to think that I approach everyone with like an equal mentality in terms of like an opportunity to become friends. However, it becomes weird when, for example, in a group of 3, if 2 people are of the same background and heritage, it feels weird to insert yourself into that scenario when they're truly, and you can observe that they're bonding on like a different aspect than you're bonding with them. And I think it depends on the person, but at least for me, I found in my experience that it's difficult sometimes to make friends with people of the different background. Right now, I find that most of my friend group is Asian American, as in ABC, American born Chinese, or international students from China. And that also includes Taiwanese people as well. But I feel that it's weird because I've personally never been friends with this amount of Asian people at once. And I feel very privileged because I'm in a situation where I get to interact with people from a similar background as I do. And I do see how that like builds like the model for connections because of our background and stuff like that. But I also miss that kind of interaction, the organic interaction that was based purely on your individual personality and stuff like that. Because I do feel like when I am continuing to engage in those sort of relationships, my identity is simplified to my ethnicity as well as my background. But my background is actually very diverse, as well as my interests and personal interests. I would like for them to be treated as a separate identity. So I was able to look into some of this phenomenon online, and there is like some research based on like victimization as a minority as well as racism in minorities. I encourage you to look into it. And it's like racial prejudice amongst minorities, it's really prevalent because they find that there's like the other mindset. It's like me and the other. However, I find that most people who are first-gen immigrants actually share a lot of those experiences regardless of what culture you come from, because that experience growing up with a family that struggled, a family that struggled to fight for their place as well as facing discrimination and stuff like that, those cause like similar experiences and therefore creates like a backbone of creating friendships and stuff like that.